All right. I got your big face smoke. Oh, crap. Hey, guys. Smoke. Oh, crap. I don't know how the time delay is going to be. It's going to drive me crazy, and I need to mute that. I don't know how the time delay is going to be. Oh, yeah. All right. That's better. Okay. Hey, guys. As I said, all right, that's cool. This is totally just kind of an experimental thing. It's a lot, much, big face. I just set this up as smoothly as I could, which didn't work out as I would have liked it to do. And this is why I'm doing it, hopefully mostly subscribers and people that I know, because I just want to work out the details, work out the bugs. I was hoping I could go kind of a wider angle, but I guess it doesn't allow me to have my actual camera controls through the YouTube app. Can y'all hear me okay, by the way? I guess I should ask that. Anyhow, who knows if we'll even use the footage or just kind of hang out. Is this through Meld? No. I tried to set up the Meld software and I couldn't figure out how to get it to utilize my cell phone. So it's going to take me a little bit longer to figure all that out. I do have the microphone on. Right now I'm just going through the YouTube app. I figured out a couple more things, but as DJ Real One knows, I was on with him last second, panicking, trying to figure out exactly what was about to happen. Anyway, I'm going to keep this real casual and not even try and make it like a future video. This is the little camera that I was using the other day that clipped onto my hat. If y'all watched the video, I wasn't really impressed with it, but I think a lot of the resolution issues had to do with lighting. So our unboxing is a little Amazon light setup that I bought. And sorry, I'm trying not to look at the monitor. Basically, I literally got onto Amazon and said, what is the cheapest camera video lighting set that I can find? And this was, I want to say, $33 and came with 3 cameras. So let's see what we've got here. XK-70D. There's our little manual. We're not going to get into all that. I'm just going to break these out. So I guess this is the actual light. I guess I should check the chat occasionally. 6 watching. Hi, everybody. Okay, so this actually comes with gels. That's kind of cool. Actually, that's really cool. So we can go all kinds of different cool colors. That's neat. I would think in this day and age they would have just done that through the LEDs, but that's the cheap one that I got probably. All right, little mount for, theoretically there are tripods for these as well. Huh, there are. So for $33, we got lights. What in the hell? Oh, okay. Sort of weird. I don't understand. There we go. Yeah. Can you still see that? Yeah. Anybody yelling at me for doing anything stupid? No, doesn't look like it. Top chat. I want to change that to live chat for one thing. But hey, let me do that real quick. I'll be right back. Live chat. All right. So, like I said, it comes with 3 lights and 3 little tripods. And I'm just going at this without instructions or anything. There's a little cap so you don't poke yourself. This screws on there. Oh yeah. Pretty self-explanatory. We're still in frame. That's good. Gotta make sure you got headroom, YouTubers. Because if your head's not on the screen, you know what I mean. Wow, this looks like a grow light for growing tomatoes and such. You probably don't want me to plug this in and turn it on in your face. I can already see the big negative aspect that I guess I didn't pay attention to. This is USB powered. And I guess that you could see that as a positive aspect because if you had a USB battery pack, you could mount it down here and then it's portable. So that's kind of cool. I'm not set up to do that. I just want to pull all the rest of this out and make sure that it doesn't come with some sort of lighting or some sort of power plug. I don't think it does. I vaguely remember seeing something about that. Trying not to panic. Trying not to panic. Let's see. How can I get power to that without changing the entire dynamic of everything? That's a good question, folks. Well, I guess we're going to have to change some camera angles. Hi, everybody. Let me, well, since we're changing camera angles anyway, we'll go there real quick. I got foot room, headroom, whatever that is. I think so. 3, 2, 1. There I am. Quite a delay. So what I'm going to do is, I got a plug over here behind me. Anyway, let me check on the chat. Hi, everybody. Who all's here? DJ Real One, The Bad News, Shaggy Mane, Renegade, I know I saw earlier. Road Reality even. All right. I got 7 watching. So that's exciting. Cool. First live. Hope you're having a good time. Whee! Can I get that out of the way of the shot? Yeah, sorta. So let's bring this over here where I have a wall wart. Pardon my uninstalled trim. I think everyone here is a regular. I built this house myself and I have not done all the finish work because I don't have a wife to bitch and moan about it or anything like that. So by the time I was done dealing with all the chaos that it took to build this place, I was pretty much done and wanted to go play in my shop. All right, we got a blue light on the remote. Sorry, this is going to make a sound because it hits the microphone. Up, down. Okay, so we can start it. Wait, on. Whoa, hey. Up, 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 up. Down, 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 down. Can I hold it? Yep. Okay. So you got steps, or you can hold it and it'll kind of scroll. So how many steps is that? That's quite a lot. Let's take it from the bottom. Ready? Can y'all see that, by the way? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 maybe? 8. I don't know if that's actually getting any brighter. Huh. So 6 or 7 steps it looks like. Let's get some wire freedom. Free the wires. Free the wires, please. Please free the wires. They don't want to see me get frustrated. Come on. There you go. All right. Now let's see how high we can get. Pretty high. Transformers. Oh, there we go. Wow. All right. Well, I mean, that ain't bad. So Am I still in shot? I'm going to try and refresh this and see if I can get a little bit less of a delay. Probably looking at my butt. Sorry, guys. Refresh. That's still a pretty big delay. Anyhow, I do have headroom. My point is that I don't think you want me to shine this light at your face. But if that's the highest setting, let's turn these lights off. Shoot, that ain't bad. I mean, I could use that as a shop light also. And like I said, this package came with 3 of these. I want to see what's going on in the chat. Hi, Robert. Let me entertain you. So let's turn this way down. And hopefully that's not too bright to shine at your face, but I just did it real quick. Oh no, that wasn't too bad. So it's a grid light, but you can't see it, or I couldn't see it on the wall. I mean, it's pretty soft as far as the universalness. How much was the light? Okay, the light. There are actually 3 lights. 3, not 3. And I mean, we could get real fancy and I could try and show you my desktop, but you don't want to see my desk right now. It's a mess and has questionable items in plain sight. How about that? Oh, click. All right. So what we're looking at is the Photography Lighting Kit Dimmable 5600K USB LED video studio streaming lights with adjustable tripod stand and color filters for tabletop photo video shooting. The brand is ALTSON, ALTSON. And this says $44.99. I'm pretty confident I bought it on sale for $33. And like I said, the kit has 3 lights in it. So it's 3 of this identical setup, which, I mean, even at $45, let's say 50 bucks. Like I said, if you had some portable battery packs, you could strap it onto here, which is probably what I will do. I will figure out what size I should get and get some portable battery banks. And then this will be a completely portable unit. That's portable is the word for the day, kids. So, something about the smoke shop shuffle, shuffling stuff around. That song's been stuck in my head for 4 days. All right. I don't know if I was supposed to unplug that with it turned on, but I did. So I, frankly, as far as this particular product, am thoroughly impressed. I want to get back on here so I can see what the heck is going on. I got mine on the desk too. Tomatoes. Oh. Yes. Yes, tomatoes. Exactly. The water-cooled tomato device is in plain sight and not something I necessarily want out there. So we're going to go back over this way a little bit more. And Donnie and the Clarence Show. Where are we at? Well, we've lost a couple viewers, but that's okay. I'm surprised I had as many as I did. Some mighty fine tomatoes. So, like I said, that was the unboxing of this light, which was the main thing that I wanted to do. I'll probably just shoot a different video and do it again a little bit better. But I wanted to say hi and do a live. So there's my little 15-minute live. I should have turned the air conditioner down before I did this. You want to see some... Let's see if we can put on one of the gels. Glasses. Activate glasses. I don't understand. I'm looking at video from like 20 minutes ago. And still not live. Still not live. Uh-oh. Guys, I'm still here. Hey, I think I'm live. All right. Oh, everybody's leaving? Whatevs. I got my glasses. Let's do one of these gels. Please peel off this mask after application completed. I don't know if that's supposed to be like a permanent thing. Yeah, they just slide in there. Oh, that's actually pretty sweet. I don't know why there's a like a cell phone protective screen or something. Will this reach? Yeah, it should. Sorry if this is right in your eyes. Let's try that. Wow, okay, well, that made it kind of yellowy. Or greenish yellow. So you could do some mood lighting. Oh, wow, man. Okay, well, you know, my response to that would be, again, in this modern age, I would think that they would just have the LEDs where you could change the colors, but that's why it's so cheap, probably. This is probably last decade's technology. Might be trying to match sunlight. Yeah, and that's, you know, a lot of this stuff. Let me turn the light back on. A lot of this stuff, I'm just going to hop in the chair and we'll talk. Because I think I can see the chat from here. Just ignore the sound that you're about to hear, okay? It's nothing major. It's just some plumbing stuff, okay? It's just plumbing. Yep. That's some mighty fine plumbing. Plumbing is working correctly. I've totally forgotten what I was talking about at this point. Hey guys, I was just gonna say, hey, can I read the chat from here? Filters are still current. They use them professionally. They just not as convenient for consumers. And that's kind of what I was about to say was on a professional level. I had a very good friend of mine that got me originally into anything having to do with videography. He's not with us anymore, but you know, we were filming when digital cameras first became a thing, and built a badass computer to be able to plug into it. And the computer would actually control the physical tape. So when you scrub back and forth on photo or whatever the software was, Premiere, it physically sped up and fast forwarded the tape in the camera. That was always kind of cool. But that was my first experience with lighting and setting up for, again, gels and stuff like that. I really have minimal experience in it, but cool to see another room and not the shop. Yeah, of course you did. I missed something. But anyway, what was my point? Oh, as far as setting up the room. Yeah, I want to set this room up to where, like how I'm sitting now, we can kind of have the hangout session and maybe do a SunDay unboxing. Like I said, just kind of a hangout. I have a couple more things that I kind of scripted of stuff that we could talk about, but I'm not really too concerned about that right now. I'll hold that for the future. Um, as far as the room and the build of the house itself, this is actually a column from the steel building, and it passes through the wall and is actually completely independent of the residence, which was part of the deal as far as the engineering, because the outer steel building was a pre-engineered building. And so I actually had to have the residence engineered completely independently of that building. So part of that deal was structurally, this column has nothing to do with the house. It just passes through the wall. Right now, I've left it exposed. I'm more than likely going to cover it in wood. I covered some of the smaller ones in wood, but I do also kind of like the industrial look. So I'm still on the fence. And like I said, I don't have a wife or girlfriend bitching and moaning at me to finish it. It's one of those things that I really need to do. Um, as the channel grows, I may try and bring some more house stuff into the mix. I'd like to have a well-rounded shop channel, but as we all know, the algorithm doesn't like that. So let's check on the chat. Cool idea. I may need to borrow this. I was using talk text that was supposed to say, "Of course you did," in reference to when you said you forgot what you were talking about. Yeah, imagine that. I think it's cool. Real chill, unbox some random stuff on occasion. Yeah, that's awesome to me for some reason. If you're talking about the house build, bad news. Yeah. Will we see any other rooms of the house in the future? Sure. I'm not ready to share that. And there's actually a video of the house build. So it's a terrible video, and I kind of intend to redo that one. But there's behind the scenes of the build and some of the finished work, but not really a finished walkthrough. What I really need to do is do a lot more finish work in here and do a thorough clean and then do a walkthrough. I want to build a bigger shop in the backyard. As far as the steel buildings, Renegade, I think I mentioned it to you in your chat before. You can get them relatively inexpensive. The thing is that to do what I did a lot of the work myself. The small steel buildings are not hard to put up. I intended to put up this with some of my friends, but by the time I got through all the permitting and all that, a friend had died, a friend had moved, it's like I didn't have a crew anymore. So I actually outsourced the steel building assembly. But the smaller buildings, and especially the Quonset hut, which is the arched building, you can pretty much put them together with one or two people. The Quonset hut, I'd always suggest having at least a helper, but I'm a pretty independent person myself. House build was great. I love seeing that for real. If y'all haven't seen the house build, go video, go search it out. Yeah, I think it's just in the thumbnail it says barn dough. But point being, if y'all, I don't think I've ever mentioned it in public. I know I mentioned it, excuse me, to Renegade. And Shaggy Man is a friend in real life, so he knows. But I built this project right during COVID. Like I started before COVID. COVID hit. I kind of freaked out, bought a bunch of wood before prices went up. And I built this for $150,000. And it is a 2-bedroom on paper, 2-bedroom, 2-bath residence with a 40 by 40 garage. And I think some of you realize that this is a 2-story residence. It's basically like a small townhouse. And then my garage is still 20, I think it's 20, 21 to the peak, 18 to the corners, to the eaves. So 40 by 40 and enough room in there to do a mezzanine and have 2 stories in there. Excuse me. And hey, you've got your wife. That's more than I had. That's not literally. I had some friends that I called on occasion. I had one friend that really helped me a lot. But this is something I see living the dream, small living space, big old garage. Yeah, the plan was my original plan, I'll be frank with y'all. My original plan was basically the size of the residence, which was 20 by 40, 2-story, with the shop downstairs and an efficiency apartment upstairs. Basically, when my mom passed, I kind of inherited some money and upped the budget. So I was able to, either shop for a house at that price range, but at that price range in Jacksonville, Florida, I would have been in the ghetto with no garage. Um, so uh, I was able to do this for brand new, customized to my liking for, like I said, $150,000. I don't know if you could still do that now since COVID and not getting into the economy and all that, but the reality is prices have gone up exponentially since then. The building itself, I don't think was that expensive. The concrete was exceedingly expensive and has since gotten more expensive. Um, anyway, I think I've blithered a bunch about that. Anybody else got any questions? Sorry, I can just barely see the screen. Nice, double nice. Link of the video, but I couldn't find it. Yeah, I mean, I can throw that link up here real quick. Theoretically. Channel dashboard, content. Sorry, guys, I'll be right back. Dun, 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 dun. Here we go. Shareable link. SunDay high noon. Bam. Paste. Boom. All right. That is. How far are you from civilization? He's in town. Okay, Shaggy, you're saying I'm in town in Jacksonville? I'm on the outskirts of town. They're just starting to build up out here. Where Shaggy Man was living was kind of like a town center area, so it was a concentrated area of new construction, bordering to kind of an older neighborhood. And I am on the outskirts of Jacksonville, Florida. That's about to be the exact same thing. They just built a Publix right up the street. Everything is selling commercial in this area. But the reason, come to Cali and buy a project to drive back east, brother, I'd love to. I think the bad news is out there too. So we could have a big meetup out in Cali. But yeah, this neighborhood, I actually moved out here because it was quite rural. And since I bought the property, I've watched them buy what they do. I'm sure we've all seen it, these family plots, and turn them into subdivisions. So I have a chunk of land behind me that I'm really concerned about them buying and developing. If they do, it really takes all of the charm away from this property, and I may sell. I could make a considerable amount of money if I sold this, especially if the market was right. Come to Cali and drive, but still in town. But still in town. Okay. I mean, this is the last exit on I-10 of Jacksonville. In town in Jacksonville. I am in Jacksonville, Florida. Yes, sir. San Diego. Vista here. Link to see his shop being built from scratch. Oh, yeah. I guess, thank you, DJ Real One. He was still looking. I threw it up there. Biggity, biggity, biggity. Giggity, giggity. I work up there sometimes. That's cool. So what we have to do right now is convince Shaggy Mane to start a YouTube channel, because he is basically doing van life and has a custom-built four-wheel drive Ford E350, if I remember correctly. And he's doing some traveling and stuff. So we need to get him to do a travel vlog. I don't know. If I didn't know you smoke, I would guess you're from Cali. Why? Because I smoke? Excuse me. I enjoy California. I've been out there before, several times. I actually flew out to California and met up with a girlfriend of mine who was living out there, and she and I drove her 4x4 Suburban pulling a 25-foot travel trailer across the country. That was a interesting adventure. Um, I'm more aiming towards like the North Carolina, Tennessee area personally. That's always kind of been my favorite area since the first time I ever went out there, the Blue Ridge Mountains. Super chill. Yeah, well, yeah. There's an angry side of me, believe me. I've worked for a lot of years to learn to control that and get it mellow. But I had major damaged hands from punching holes in walls as a teenager and all that crap. Uh, my dad would say I'm a quite aggressive driver. I think I'm slightly aggressive. Shaggy Man would probably agree with my dad more. But you know, I overall I try to remain relatively chill, and smoking has a lot to do with that. It's medicine for me for sure. Please teach me to chill. Yeah, I mean, it's all about deep breaths and meditation. I think I've mentioned I've contemplated doing a philosophy channel just so I can talk shit. It'd be much more like this. I feel that one. I'm super chill until I'm not. Yeah, I mean, there is a line, absolutely, and you don't want to poke the bear. It actually really surprises people when they see that size of me because of the yin and yang. I mean, people do like a triple take, like never expected to see that come out of me. Um, there's been situations in bars and stuff like that where somebody crossed the line, and it's like next thing you know, they had no idea what was coming. That's neither here nor there. Again, I try to remain chill. I don't, the YouTube thing, people coming up to stalk you or whatever. I don't look forward to that. I had somebody actually roll up on my property. It had nothing to do with YouTube. Um, they just, I'm at the end of a private dead end road, gravel, terrible road. Like there's no way this would be a through road. And I had, long story short, a Amazon helper driver in her personal car come flying down the road and end up in my backyard looking in my sliding glass door. And what she saw was me with a 9mm pointed at her, yelling, "What the fuck are you doing in my backyard?" uh, that was an interesting evening. And she was, yeah, thought she was looking at her map app and thought she could drive through or something. So that was interesting and reminded me that I need to put a gate up in the side yard. Like she came down the road into my gravel driveway, around my truck onto my grass, around my camper, which is in the side yard, into the backyard, which at this point is all grass, and around a fire pit, and like literally turned to where she was facing my sliding glass door in the very, very backyard. And it's like, how the hell did you get that far without figuring out you were doing something wrong? I thought it was somebody running from the cops, which is why I immediately armed myself and went downstairs. Speaking of random stories with smoke, definitely need a gate. Yeah, I had one at the very front of the house when I first built it for construction purposes. Legally, you have to have a barrier around the construction site, but I just didn't like it visually. I like it being open, but I have a spot set up, and I still have the gate, basically like a ranch gate or whatever that I intend to install there. Shaggy Man and I have talked about it a couple times. He's like, "Oh, let's set up that gate." Nah, we'll do it some other time. I'm great at procrastinating. Where are we at here? 34 minutes. Well, guys, as much as I'd love to sit here all day and bullshit with y'all, I know you all have other things to do, and I'm not really set up for it. But I want to thank everybody that's in here right now very, very much for hanging out. And I don't know if we'll make this into anything that stays on the channel, but I appreciate you being here. Get those watch blues up, my bro. And dude, you definitely need a gate. So who else is here in town? Renegade at this point, just me and you. Shaggy Mane was, but he's in California now. And, you know, I think Bad News already said he's in California as well. If Real One wants to say where he's at, he can. About midway between here and California, strangely enough. But anyway, like I said, I want to thank all y'all for being here. And I think I'm going to wrap this up. 30 minutes is a nice point. I don't really think I want to sit here for another 30 minutes making shit up. Although I could. I'll entertain you for days. Like I said, I appreciate all y'all being here, and we'll evolve this into something more realistic. Is everybody cool with this time frame, that Sunday East Coast time? Noon? I left that word out. Because that works for me great. Because Sunday at noon is about the time that the shop's getting hot in the summer, but I'm not tired from the day. I'm still able to do this. Cool over here. Yeah, it was fun. Good to see you live. Well, right on, right on. Yeah, everybody hit like just for the analog, the whatever I'm trying to say, analytics, the algorithm, the analogorithm, analytics. All right, peace, y'all. Hey, anybody know how to stop a live stream? Because I don't. Very interesting. You just press buttons until something happens. I really don't know how to stop this. There it is. Are you sure you want to stop streaming? Yes. Bye.